All right, so Minecraft movie, Friday evening, me and my son, right? Let's talk about it. By the way, spoiler alert, I'm giving away stuff that's in the movie. All right, so for starters, I want to give it a solid 5 out of 10. Now, I know that might be a little bit generous, you watching this video here. I'm a generous guy, right? No, I'm just kidding. Realistically speaking, I don't think it was the worst movie that I have ever seen or the worst rendition of a video game movie that I've ever seen, but it also wasn't a great movie, right? So I want to talk about it, kind of give you guys my opinions and my thoughts on it. Anyways, we got Minecraft movie, all right? First up, I got 5 different points that I want to talk about. All right, so 5 out of 10 is my current rating. If you clicked on the video only for the rating, there it is, right? So 5 out of 10. See you guys later. All right, so I personally think that the first thing for me was, I want to say, the story buildup, or the IRL, like the real life, characters, right? You've got Jack Black, you've got Jason Momoa, you've got like 2 kids, and then this other lady. I'm not even exactly sure who she is as an actor. I can't even name her off the top of my head. But anyways, all of them kind of start off in the real world, right? And you do see the Minecraft world a little bit within the first couple of minutes of the movie, where Jack Black, tells his little side story for like 15 minutes, and then eventually, goes off into, sucks into the cube, and, goes to the portal, all that stuff. Long story short, the character build up, or the story build up, I think, is far too long for younger kids, right? Like, my son is 4, he's about to turn 5 in May next month, and it was way too long. He was super bored for like the first hour of the movie, because it was just real life, right? He doesn't really understand like all of the conversations, the language being talked about, Jason Momoa being, a bum and has no money and is broke, all this kind of stuff, right? Like, he has no clue about any of that. He's not interested in any of that. He wants to see the bright, colorful, Minecraft world and the things that he recognizes from the game. And I feel like that was a huge miss for them, because that was not provided, in my opinion, until like after like the first full hour, into the film. So that's number one, right? I think they should definitely have, shown more of the creative, colorful world aspect of it, to hold that audience. Now, secondly, speaking of audience, let's talk about the 2 roles that are casted, right? The 2 big ones. You've got Steve, which is Jack Black, and then you've got Jason Momoa, which, I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I didn't even see the relevance of Jason Momoa, like, whatsoever. You've got like a full-grown adult man with a beard that's never played Minecraft, right? He doesn't understand anything about the game. The games that he's been playing, prior to that, were like Atari games, like from years past. He's like this old washed up, like tournament, winning gamer. That's, I don't know, like some sort of like, full grown adult nerd that never aspired to be anything or do anything with his life, right? That's kind of the way that I look at it. And it didn't really fit the bill for me. I mean, Minecraft does have a really young audience, and I know that there's a lot of people like myself, right? I'm 31, about to be 32 next month in May, that does love playing Minecraft, right? Like, I absolutely love playing the game. And I know there's older people who do, and I know there's a lot of complexity that is inside of Minecraft as well. But I'm just saying, it just didn't really fit the bill for me. I feel like their target audience was very much the younger audience, and I feel like casting a younger cast, maybe like a younger kid, or like, even teens, would have been a much better received, or had a much better reception, I guess I should say, from the, the fan base of the game. And on top of that, it would have been much more relatable. And I feel like that's something that the movie was really missing. There was not really that there for me, especially because it was Jason Momoa, and I don't even understand how that storyline even got, fit into here whatsoever. But anyways, and then point number 3 that I have actually relates to the immersion, right? The immersion being broken. And what I mean by that is, if you guys have watched the film yourself, which hopefully you have, by the way, spoiler alert, I'm giving away stuff that's in the movie, the immersion, right? So they basically go to, like, they make up the portal, right, with the cube. They go into the portal, and they, they're in Minecraft world. Everything's in cubes, right? Everything's in bricks, even like the tree, the guy ends up punching the tree, figures out, oh my gosh, you can pick up, the block, and you can throw it back down wherever you want. You can build something of your own. However, then they start crafting weapons, right? And then the weapons become, like, okay, cool. Oh, awesome. I got this diamond sword. It's kind of like cubed looking, things like that. What's interesting to me is, and including even in one scene, that almost toward the very end of the movie, Jack Black is wearing a full set of diamond armor, right? And it's all cubed, right? Like, the cubed helmet, the cubed shoulder pads, the cubed everything. He doesn't fit in the cube. Like, does that make sense? Like they don't Like, they're the real life human bodies, right? The rounded arms and the rounded, center and, the rounded head, fitting into a cubed world. And they're the only thing that's round, that's not cubed. So their armor that he's wearing is all cubed and it doesn't even fit proportionally on his body. I don't understand why they didn't, CGI that, or to, make it, make their bodies cubed, right? Or even hell, honestly, just stick to an animation. That's what I really feel like they should have done, in my opinion, is done that, right? Like, discarding the other 2 points, like, it broke the immersion for me several times, because you had this weird pixelated, kind of not pixelated, but cubed, vibe, going on in the world. And then you've got these weird, odd, normal human characters that don't fit into that. But then they're using like cubed armor and cubed weapons, which again, I think is just, I don't know, it's immersion breaking for me, at least for me. Now, for kids, maybe it might not be that big of a deal. They might be just fine with it. But for me personally, that's just how I felt. And then another point that I had here was actually going to be related to the story, right? And what they kind of crafted. Now, I went into the Minecraft movie 100%, to be honest with you, not knowing about the backstory, right, of what they were going to unfold or what their plan was for it. But from a person who's loved playing Minecraft since day one, literally, the game came out years and years ago. I think I bought it for like $4 or $5 from Mojang. I expected it to be the Ender Dragon, dude. Like, I expected it, the end boss, to be the Ender Dragon. I had no clue who the heck this person was, the leader of the piglets or the pigmen or whatever. Like, I had no clue about any of that. And I found it very strange that they completely went to a different direction, right? They've got a game that everybody knows and loves, and if you've ever played Minecraft, like truly played it, you know about the Ender Dragon, you know the end boss of the game, or at least the first end boss they came out with years ago. And they didn't do that, right? So from my understanding, they just made up this leader of the pigmen boss from nowhere, because I guess the producer or whatever, I forget his name. I read an article after it because I was like in distraught. I'm like, how the heck are they not going to have the Ender Dragon? Apparently he just liked the pigmen's design and funniness, and they decided to create this storyline for this big bad woman piglin thing. I can't remember her name because it's that not really that relevant in my opinion. But it was 100% supposed to be the Ender Dragon, and that's kind of crazy that they missed that or decided to change that on like a massive fan base, because they're riding the coattails of the Minecraft name. So it's just weird that they didn't include that to be the Ender Dragon. So I thought that was very interesting. And then lastly, it also relates back to the storyline here. I think that the storyline itself wasn't anything special. Now, I know that there might not be like a full telltale, storyline behind Minecraft and all this stuff, and maybe there is, right? I'm not like a huge lore nerd to know, but the storyline felt like a very copy and paste from like the newest, Jumanji movie, right? Like with, I think it was The Rock? You also had, I believe, was it Kevin Hart? Amelia from like Doctor Who, right? Like that Jumanji, okay, where you're like sucked into a video game from the real world. And then you also had, I think, something like Pixels, right? Where like Pixels, I think, might have come to our world. I don't remember, but either way, it really reminded me of like a copy and paste pasta of those films, like the storyline. There was no narration like that seemed to be, creative or new. There was nothing or a different take, directed. It seemed very much like a copy and paste, like, let's just slap Minecraft into this. And changing them being sucked into this randomly, let's just make a portal if they put these two pieces together, and then boom, they go through the portal, and then now they're here into Minecraft world. It felt very similar to those other storylines, which I felt like it was like a missed opportunity. It was very lackluster in that regard. And so for that, guys, I mean, I don't know. I give it a 5 out of 10. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the movie down below in the comment section. But that's it, guys. See you on the next one.